Torah Life Ministries come out of the world.
Hello everybody, it's Paul Neeson with Torah Life Ministries, and I have a question to answer today from somebody who says, what are we supposed to be doing? I just started reading the Torah and I want to do all He wants me to be doing. Could you please tell me how to find out? I thank you so much. Bless you and your wife and your beautiful daughter. Shalom. Well, what are we to be doing? In the scriptures it says, or gives the guidelines and instructions, and the Torah being the first 5 books of the Bible is the foundation of what we should be doing throughout all of the scriptures. And the rest of the book talks about the consequences of happen when we obey or disobey. And it's a very prophetic book, but it really comes down to the instructions and the guidelines. And what we should be doing is right there. We should be keeping the instructions and the guidelines according to our knowledge. So if we don't know something, then we can't really do it. We'll still suffer the consequences of not being obedient to something, even if we don't know it and we're doing something wrong. But basically, the best way to start is to look at the 10 Commandments. Look at the 10 Commandments, keep a list on your wall, keep a list on your refrigerator, keep a list around you, and that's a great place to start. The 10 Commandments will show us, where we're at and what we're trying to accomplish. Now, most Christians out there do not keep the 10 Commandments. Most Christians do not even know what the 10 Commandments are. Now, it's very easy to keep the last part of the 10 Commandments that talk about things that are done to each other. The things about, adultery, the things about not coveting your neighbor's wife, and these things are done to each other. So, these are much moral understanding of the average person today. But the real issue lies in what we're doing or what we're told to do to our Creator. Not to bring Him to jealousy, and not to take His name in vain, and not to have any other gods before Him or idolize anything, and also to listen to His words and to keep the Sabbath holy and set apart as He said. And so most people have no problem doing the commandments that talk about what we're to do to each other because they're just morally agreed upon and known. But when it comes to what He told us to do in terms to Him, that's where people usually miss something here. So what I suggest is studying the 10 Commandments to begin with. And once you get that, continue to read the Torah and pray about it and see what's on your heart. And remember that, keeping the guidelines and instructions of our Creator is not a salvation issue. As long as you accept Yeshua as Messiah, you're saved. However, if you truly, with your heart and sincerely accept Him as your Messiah, your heart, you're going to want to desire to do what He told us to do. So if somebody says they're a believer, they accepted Yeshua as Messiah, but they just keep living the same life they lived before they said that, that's not good enough in my opinion. I mean, even in the scriptures, it's not good enough because, it says, the works are important and that's how we get blessed. But more important, the desires of our heart should be to please Him, to glorify Him in all we do. And the way we do that is we study what He wanted us to do and how to live. And the greatest way to study that is look at Messiah Himself. Messiah Yeshua was known as the living Torah because He set a model and example of what we're supposed to do, and He told us how to do it. And it really comes down to understanding and taking action and having faith. And these are 3 things that aren't being done enough today. So I definitely recommend you study and you read and you pray. And, in time things will come and become more clearly because He says in the scriptures, He shows each person, when they're ready, and it become more clear. I used to look at certain scriptures and just stare at them. They were just words on a page. Now I can look at them and I like those 3D images where it's like, wow, it just opens up a whole new world. And you'll see that happening. But you don't just read the scriptures or the Torah once. You read it over and over again, and it becomes more clear each time. But again, it's something you want to pray about. And after reading it and praying about it, He'll guide you and show you what to do. But then you still got to take action and do it. And doing that and being obedient comes along a lot of blessings. So you're doing a great start by reading the Torah, but don't just read it once. Continue reading it. We have the weekly Torah videos, and continue reading that. And if you know anyone in your neighborhood who's going to a local Messianic congregation, or as somebody that's looking to Hebrew roots, maybe become friends with them, and if they've been doing it longer than you can kind of get an idea through the example they set, if they're doing things the way they're supposed to be doing, and that's very helpful, local fellowship and so on. If that answer is not clear enough and you have more questions, please send me an email about that, and I'll be happy to get more specific if you have a specific verse or something you don't know about. But remember, we need to do what we're convicted to do. And if you're convicted to do something and you don't do anything, there's a serious issue there. And I tell people, if you're not convicted, don't do it. But if you're convicted, how can you not do it? We all have to try to figure out what we should be doing, and hopefully our convictions will drive us to be more obedient, and reading Torah will help us get there. Thank you again so much for your question, and continue those questions coming in, everybody. And thanks for checking us out. Check out a lot of the other videos here. We have some great guests which share some great information in what to do in your walk, and it's just really excited about all the people I know and the things they're sharing here on Torah Life Ministries. So thank you very much, everybody. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Health Watchman, and you could also, or The Health Watchman, and you could also go to the website healthwatchman.com to see many of my former videos. Until then, everybody, have a great day, and shalom, shalom.
Torah Life Ministries come out of the world. Messiah people seek the truth. Come out of the world, oh my people.